We did how many rounds? We probably did at least like 8 straight.
Yeah, but you in the bag for about 8 too.
Yeah.
It was good. You're not in bad shape.
Yeah. Just got put up my mind.
The highly anticipated rematch between LamontRoach and GervontaDavis has just hit a major setback. Davis reportedly suffered a hand injury during training, a setback eerily similar to the one sustained months ago by another lightweight rival, the WBC lightweight champion, which led to a 4-month hiatus following surgery. True to his word after the controversial first fight with LamontRoach, where he recorded the first draw of his career, Davis returned to the gym with renewed focus. He aimed to improve his punching power, acknowledging that his strikes had little to no effect on Roach. Tank began weight training and intensified his pad and bag work. But during one of these intense sessions, he punched with such force that he injured his hand severely. He collapsed to the ground in pain and was immediately treated and had his hand bandaged. Now, the big question looming is whether he'll require surgery. If surgery is needed, the rematch will almost certainly be postponed for several months while Davis recovers. So far, 2025 has been a turbulent year for him, both emotionally and professionally. That March fight against LamontRoach Jr. didn't just bruise his pride, it's potentially altered the trajectory of his career. The turning point in their last bout came in the 9th round when Tank dropped to a knee and retreated to his corner, claiming eye irritation from grease. Referee Steve Willis did not count it as a knockdown which impacted the judge's decision, ultimately resulting in a draw. The outcome sparked controversy, with many fans and analysts believing Roach Jr. had done enough to win. The New York State Athletic Commission was called upon to review the result, but ultimately failed to overturn it. While a rematch was rumored for this summer, no official news has surfaced. Davis has remained completely silent, a stark contrast to his usual presence on social media. Retirement has also been on his mind for months. He even stated that 2025 might be his final year in boxing. However, he hasn't made any official announcement regarding hanging up his gloves. In the meantime, his Tank isn't the kind of fighter you can predict. And that's boxing. Anything can happen, said Kenny Ellis, reflecting on the uncertain future of GervontaDavis. You never know. Tank might retire, man. You just have to wait and see what he does. Kenny concluded with a statement that left fans guessing. Whatever Tank does, I'll respect it. If he continues, he has my support. If he retires, he has my support. Those final words have added to the growing cloud of uncertainty surrounding Davis's next move. The ripple effect from that intense March 1st showdown with LamontRoach Jr. continues to shake the boxing world. The controversial majority draw, especially the drama in the 9th round, when Davis unexpectedly took a knee but wasn't penalized, has only intensified calls for a rematch. With each passing day, anticipation builds. The boxing community is eager for definitive news about a second clash between GervontaDavis and LamontRoach Jr. Their unresolved rivalry and the explosive nature of their last encounter have made a rematch one of the most highly awaited events in boxing for the...
What do you think about, LamontRoach and Tank's rematch, though?
It'll be a good fight. Good fight.
Yeah. There were like some rumors saying that June 21st, T-Mobile Arena in Vegas.
I haven't heard anything,
All signs point toward a rematch. But the real question is, when will it happen? Several reporters have suggested that June 21st is currently the most talked about date, with Las Vegas being the likely location. However, nothing has been officially confirmed yet, and for now, these remain unverified reports. According to sources, who spoke with Show, both camps are now fully on board with running it back. A Davis versus Roach rematch could happen as early as June 21st in Las Vegas, but fans will have to wait for an official announcement. What's clear is that LamontRoach has been extremely active on social media since their March 1st bout. He's participated in multiple interviews, consistently sharing his perspective on the fight and strongly advocating for the rematch to happen sooner rather than...
I don't pay that stuff no mind unless certain people post it. You know?
Yeah.
Certain networks, certain people. And once they post it, then it's on. But other than that, it's just the internet talking. You know what I mean?
Tell me what state of mind is Tank now in?
Tank is Tank. He good.
During an April 8th interview with boxing legend Andre Ward on the All the Smoke Fight podcast, LamontRoach shared a promising update regarding the potential rematch with Gervonta Tank Davis. "We are trending in the right direction," Roach said about the rematch negotiations. "I hope we can make an announcement soon. I hope we have a decision soon. That's all I must say. But we are trending in the right way." While his optimism was clear, some critics believe Roach's biggest mistake may have been placing too much faith in the idea that the March 1st controversy would be corrected, that the draw might be overturned, and that he could still become a two-division world champion by ending GervontaDavis's undefeated streak. But so far, none of that has materialized, and the boxing world continues to...
Especially for some reason, I haven't heard anything from this, but the only one that I've seen that was like quite odd to me, and I'm pretty sure you heard it because you're a fan of her, is Clarissa Shields saying something about Tank got evicted or something like that.
On March 1st, LamontRoach and Gervonta Tank Davis faced off in what many are calling an instant classic. A thrilling fight that was unfortunately marred by one major moment of controversy. In the later rounds, Tank took a knee, which, by the rulebook, should have been scored as a knockdown. However, referee Steve Willis allowed the fight to continue without issuing any penalty, ultimately resulting in a majority draw. It was a bittersweet outcome for Roach, also known as the Reaper, who believed he had done enough to earn the win. But then, a glimmer of hope appeared when the New York State Athletic Commission began reviewing the incident. Even WBA President Gilberto J. Mendoza publicly supported Roach, stating that the knee should have been counted as a knockdown, as rumors began circulating that the commission might overturn the result. Roach's hope for justice, and possibly a retroactive victory, briefly came back to...
Did you hear that?
Hell no. Hell no.
I said, that's crazy.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, she said it, and I haven't heard that from nobody.
No. That was the case of being...
Let me repeat, I stand by what I expressed. Last Sunday in Ring Magazine, based on my 30-plus years of experience, taking a knee without a punch should be ruled a knockdown. Those were the firm words of an expert analyst, echoing the sentiments of many in the boxing community who believe the March 1st bout between LamontRoach and Gervonta Davis was unfairly judged. According to the rules, Davis taking a knee should have counted, and it undeniably impacted the outcome of the fight. But just when Roach and his supporters hoped for a resolution, everything came crashing down again. The New York State Athletic Commission announced that they would uphold the referee's original call, citing a technical limitation that prevented them from reviewing the fight footage. For Roach, it was another gut punch. He had hoped for a reversal, or at the very least some official clarity, following the controversy. Instead, what he got was closure of a different kind, one he didn't want. Recently, the 29-year-old sat down with Andre Ward on the All the Smoke Fight podcast, where the March 1st fight once again became the focal point. During the conversation, Roach revealed that officials had indeed followed up with him after the review. He also expressed frustration over what he described as the referee's dismissive and ignorant behavior, which only deepened the sting of
AI crazy, but they've been jumping lately too. Whole bunch of different stuff, man. I be laughing my ass off.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Speaking of, I seen Jalil Hackett's Twitter. He was talking about what possibly.
During the All the Smoke Fight podcast, Andre Ward posed a key question to LamontRoach. What was the reason the New York State Athletic Commission gave you for not overturning the fail decision? Roach responded that, according to the NYSAC, counting the knee as a knockdown would have changed the fight entirely. Not just the score, but GervontaDavis's approach in the remaining rounds. The commission stated that since it's impossible to predict how Davis would have responded, they couldn't justify altering the official result. It was a vague statement, Roach said. As the WBA featherweight champion, he had to interpret the meaning on his own. What I took from that is basically, yeah, we messed up, but somebody's got to take the fall, and it ain't going to be him. Roach further suggested that this was the commission's way of admitting the referee made a mistake, but that reversing the outcome now would be too damaging to their reputation. For Roach, it was a moment of clarity, one that confirmed what he had long suspected. The A system acknowledged.
Somebody got to take the fall, and it ain't gonna be him. So, like, they owned up to it. Like, all right, we missed this. They owned up to it. It's like, but they just saying like, all right, we're not gonna overturn it though. We're gonna, apologize and give you your flowers, but you ain't gonna get what you want. That's basically what I got.
They owned up to it, kind of, Roach said. It was like, all right, we're not going to overturn it though. We're going to apologize and give you your flowers, but you're not going to get what you want. That's basically what I got from it, he concluded. While the explanation didn't fully satisfy him, Roach admitted he felt some relief after finally receiving a long overdue acknowledgement. It may not have changed the result, but the clarity gave him a new source of motivation heading into the potential rematch. However, what still lingers with Roach is the complete silence from referee Steve Willis, who made the original non-call. He ain't making no statement, Roach remarked with clear frustration. Andre Ward quickly chimed in, calling Willis's lack of response a poor move. He emphasized that when a referee's decision can affect a fighter's legacy, the least they owe is an explanation or an apology to keep things fair and transparent. And for Roach, that fairness is still missing. The controversial draw has left a dent in his career, robbing him of what could have been a defining victory. As Ward pointed out, it has also weakened Roach's bargaining power in negotiations for the rematch, a subtle yet significant consequence that may impact how the next fight is shaped.
And you ain't heard nothing from the ref. He didn't make no statement. He ain't make no statement. That was, I ain't gonna lie, man. That was, from him, that's sad. A lot of times that's what the commissions do though, man. If something bad happened with a ref, they'll protect the referee. Yeah. And they'll try to get in front of it and they'll have a spokesperson come out and it's like, yeah, that's cool sometimes, but if you drop the ball like that and that affects my legacy, my livelihood, because y'all negotiating for a rematch right now, so.
That night was nothing short of a high-octane action film filled with dramatic twists and moments that left fans breathless. From the opening bell to the final decision, the energy inside Brooklyn's arena was electric, and the chaos that unfolded only added to the legend of the night. The fight drew over 19,000 fans and, according to Forbes, GervontaDavis reportedly earned between $15 and $20 million, while LamontRoach Jr. walked away with a career-high purse of $3 to $5 million, even in a fight that ended in a draw. All things considered, it's clear this bout had the potential to generate even more, especially with the controversy, crowd energy, and viral buzz that surrounded the event. Brooklyn Fight Night wasn't just a fight. It was a
I was fighting at 130. Obviously, he was already at the championship level. He got catapulted up there by doing what he was supposed to do, knocking everybody out that they put in front of him. Got Floyd behind him. I was, I was on the hush. I was coming up though. He's a small guy. I knew he wasn't gonna go too far. So, and I knew he can rumble. I knew that he'd be as. I'm not surprised at how good he is or what he's done to other people.
While GervontaDavis has remained unusually quiet in recent weeks, LamontRoach Jr. is back in the spotlight, and this time he's addressing yet another rumor that had the boxing world buzzing in the aftermath of their controversial March 1st clash. Trying to guess what it's about. Here's a hint. June 28, 1997. Ring any bells? That was the night Mike Tyson infamously bit Evander Holyfield's ear in the 3rd round of their rematch, an incident that cost Tyson 2 points and ultimately led to his disqualification after a second bite. Fast forward 28 years, and fans began speculating whether something shockingly similar may have happened during the Davis versus Roach fight. Online chatter and slow-motion replays raised eyebrows, prompting whispers that Davis may have attempted something out of line in the ring. But now, LamontRoach Jr. is here to clear the air and set the record straight.
Ready for Jamil. He was already champ. He was like, I handle that business, man. You know, make some money together. So you ain't gotta tell me twice. That's how it's supposed to be. So it's just like all the signs was there. All the signs was there. All I needed was
In a recent interview on Andre Ward's YouTube channel, All the Smoke fight, LamontRoach Jr. dropped an unexpected revelation. The multiple-time world champion in 2 weight classes, Andre Ward, asked the question everyone was talking about. Did GervontaDavis bite you? Yeah. There's a clip floating around, and it's got people talking. At first, Roach brushed it off, telling Ward that even after the fight, his dad mentioned it, saying, "Man, he tried to bite you." Roach admitted he hadn't felt anything at the time and just thought he'd taken a few hard punches. Nothing out of the ordinary. But then, after seeing the replay, boom, there it was. For those who missed the details, here's a quick recap. Towards the end of round 5, things started to get heated. The Baltimore native, GervontaDavis, began talking trash and throwing 3 consecutive left hands. That's when the clip surfaced, fueling further speculation.
Oh, whoa, whoa. There's another comparison I don't want to make to Mike Tyson, but
Now that's crazy.